edition of the Chamber of Skulls. So today, you might be a little confused by the title of Dragon's Den when you look at this particular one. Nothing right away comes off and says anything about Dragon's Den. Is it the symbol on the forehead? Is there something symbolic with that? Well, let's cut to the chase and say no, nothing on the forehead is symbolic with anything with dragon head. That's no symbol regarding anything to do with dragon. This is, in fact, a little bit of an Easter egg. Now, this piece here, before we get into the actual Dragon's Den, for a little while I was on this new site, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Temu. If you haven't heard of it, it's a cheap version of Amazon. Picked up a few things on it. I mean, quality is not bad. So I mean, when I say cheap, I'm not talking about like cheap quality, but you mean you get a lot of shit for a cheap price. And of course, with everything I look through, gotta go for my skulls. Found a couple of them on here. Matter of fact, I think it's gonna be the next one or the following one. There's another piece I got on there, and it's actually a collection of 4, which I am gonna eventually get all 4 of them. So I don't know, do I want to wait until I get all 4? Do I want to bring all one at a time? Not quite sure yet, and that's why I haven't brought that piece out yet. But this one here, you look right away at the skull, and it's kind of plain. It's just got a smooth top. It has a symbol on the forehead. It has symbol on the cheekbone. And automatically right away you see no lower jaw. So it's obviously intended purpose doesn't include the entire skull. Its intended purpose, or the decorative purpose, is in fact the Dragon's Den. So now you might be asking yourself, well, what the hell? Where's this Dragon's Den? We're looking at a skull. What does that have to do with the Dragon's Den? But in fact, when you twist it over here, you have your Dragon's Den. Now, being is, it's a cheaper model, or I shouldn't say a cheaper model, but Temu, they take it right from the warehouse, cut the middleman and all their other happy horse shit. But I guess you could say it is a cheaper product. We're not looking at anything high end. We're looking at a beautiful piece of art here. And what you have is, just bring this up a little closer for you guys, a baby and its mom, dragon, safely tucked away in a little cave with gems, which just happens to be inside of this skull. Now, if you look right away, obviously there's no gems in there. They used glue to give it that shimmer. They etched away at the skull to give it the shape of the gem. So if I were to, though, for the aesthetic part, I would give this an 8 out of 10. I would go so high because of the creativity. They took the whole artist implement into the dragons. The skull and the cavern, not tavern, we're not talking about a bar. The cavern is just the aesthetics part of the artistry. Now the dragon is where they really went all into. I mean, you look at this piece and those dragons right there, they are beautifully done. Let's bring it back a little bit so I can see it here. They are beautifully done. The paintwork on it is terrific. You've got this baby dragon popping out of its shell. Mom sitting next to it. You've got all the scales. The scales are not painted on. The scales are actually etched into the figure. The creativity of it, I would probably give it greater than an 8, but I mean, we got a small little overlap of paint here. But other than that, this small little error on the painting, which was it hand brushed, was it spray painted, whatever it was, that part wasn't properly masked when they were painting on it, because I mean it goes right over into the crack, each and every one of these cracks, but somehow that it got on there. And there's no markings of a fingerprint, so it's not like the artist had some paint on there, picked it up. No. So one small little thing. Is it the end of the world? No. If I really wanted to, I could probably find a small container of bone white paint and touch it up, and it would become a really great piece of art. Am I really that worried about it? No. I paid a low price for it. I'm not expecting $1,000 piece of art where I'm going to complain because there's a small little blemish. But I'll say when I got it, this is exactly what they show it on the image on their website. When I got it, I was quite honestly surprised when I saw all of this. Sure, what is all of this? It's a plain skull. It's got a little symbol on the face and some etching on the cheekbone. What is all this? Well, in reality, you have yourself a skull. You've got this piece on the forehead, which they never showed you that. Like I said, all they did was show the side with the dragon den. And like I said in my last video, I'm going for different. Yeah, sure. Some people may say, well, everything that you've got is pretty much a humanoid skull. How is that different? But you gotta look at it where the artistry is different. Like the one last week where it was that felt red, which, yeah, after I reviewed the video, I'm sure a lot of you probably were a little confused because it did kind of look pinkish. But trust me when I say it was red. The next one coming up, and the one after that, like I said, the one that next, I know for sure what I'm doing next week. And so the next one after that, I'm not sure, like if I said, if I want to wait until I get the collection of 4, or do I want to do each individual one? So let's get your guys' input on that also. Now, obviously, you don't know what they are, and they're realistically not a set, but they are a set. 4 different ones. Well, should I do each individual one separately, or should I wait until I get all 4 together, then do a video as a collection? I'm going to leave you guys here on that. Let's get your responses in the comments below, whether or not you want to wait for the full set of 4, or get each video done separately, and then maybe after the 4th one comes in, show all 4 of them together. So you guys have a great weekend. Stay skulltastic, and I will see you next time.